I'm Kareem Johnson.
And I'm Chris Ackles.
This week, big changes are coming to the university structure.
A brand new club is active on campus.
Will this beautiful weather last? David Keller's got your forecast.
And it's tournament time for Billiken soccer.
All that coming up next on SLU News 22. Thank you for joining us. The big story this week is changes to the graduate school. The university is proposing to replace the provost with 2 chief academic vice presidents and place graduate programs under the authority of the colleges within the College of Arts and Sciences. The idea has general support among the faculty senate. However, they do have concerns with the administration's approach to making the changes. For more on that story, you can read Matt's report in the University News.
In a related story, University Provost Joseph Wexelman is still on leave, and the university is making moves to replace the position. Wexelman has been on leave since the summer of this year, and he has not yet returned. The university provost handles enrollment management and academic services. President Biondi, in a recent email to the SLU community, has stated that the position would be discontinued and replaced with 2 academic vice presidents. Provost Patankar, Dean of Parks Colleges in Engineering and Aviation and Technology, has been serving as interim provost since August 1st. A kink in the system allowed some students to register early for next semester's classes on Banner last week. Over 200 students found the problem and registered for classes well before their designated time. Class registration begins at 7 a.m. on Monday mornings and is staggered weekly by grade, but a good amount of seniors were able to register on Sunday night last weekend, and it completely threw off those who followed the expected schedule. ITS did say that they fixed most of the problems by the time the regular schedule came around, and they continue to work to make sure that the same problem does not happen again.
The Hindu Students Committee hosted Diwali Puja at 5 p.m. Saturday in the St. Louis Room in the Bush Student Center. Diwali Puja is one of the most important Hindu prayer services. A Hindu priest from the Hindu Temple of St. Louis officiated over the ceremony.
On Friday and Saturday, the Albert Nagy Center for Healthcare Ethics held its 30th anniversary symposium. The event started with a 2009 Bander Endowed lecture, which was presented by Dr. William Sage. It also included healthcare ethics papers presented by CHCE alumni and faculty, and concluded with a presentation on ethics and the end-of-life care.
On Sunday, the St. Louis University Museum of Art hosted Sip and Serenade, which featured a string quartet with members from the SLU String Orchestra directed by Mark Thayer of the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. Judith and Anna Aronson Gallery hosted Relics of a Glorious Past, Imperial Russian Artifacts from the collection of James Cooper, Ph.D. The exhibition contains more than 400 items ranging from the 16th to the 20th century.
On Sunday at Taylor Field, Parks College hosted the annual Pumpkin Launch, which tests the students' engineering skills. The contestants' #1 goal is to send a basketball-sized pumpkin hurling towards a 12-inch ring 75 feet down the field.
And David is now with us for first weather. The weather this weekend has been absolutely beautiful. How long is this going to last, and can we get more of it?
Yeah, we can expect this nice weather to continue for another day or so. There are changes in the forecast. Tonight I'm expecting temperatures to fall back to 58 degrees, a very mild night. Tomorrow, another mild day in store. However, we do have some changes, including some cooler weather and a possibility of rain that I'll tell you about in the 7-day forecast later in the newscast.
All right, thanks, David. On Thursday, Windows machines will have additional power-saving settings. The power-saving package will help the university to save money and energy by adjusting settings for desktop computers, over 6,000 of them on campus. Under these settings, monitors will go to sleep after about 30 minutes of no activity. After 1 hour, the computer will go into standby mode, and the hard drive will turn off.
When we come back, a shooting on an Army base in Texas is producing a lot of questions.
And some new election rules in Iraq. We'll take a look at national news when we return on SLU News 22.
It was loud, it was rebellious, and in 1966, the British government banned rock and roll on the radio.
That's the whole point of being the government. If you don't like something, you simply make it illegal.
Until one American DJ...
I don't give a hootenanny about your limey laws.
He's possibly the most famous broadcaster ever.
And a band of renegades...
You must be the Count.
I am he.
Take me to the microphone.
...launched a radio station on the high seas.
We should have set sail years ago.
And raided the airwaves.
Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence.
I'm the Count. You're listening to Radio Rock as we count down to ecstasy.
Rock on! Are you doing something dirty?
And that was for Erica.
They had millions of fans.
A nice young man has lost his virginity.
A boat full of treasure.
Busy day.
And the full attention...
Pirate Radio.
...of the authorities.
That will soon be the first person to curse on rock and roll radio. Here it comes.
Shut that filth off.
We're going to shut them down.
They can't close us down. We're pirates.
They will find a way. Governments loathe people being free.
This fall, experience the comedy.
Our heroic disc jockeys become dangerous criminals.
About the untold story.
I'm declaring war.
Of the motley crew that saved rock and roll.
This is a trick.
We've got the wrong damn boat.
Spectacular mistake.
From the creator of 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
These are the best days of our lives.
And Love Actually.
They will come after us.
Let them try. I intend to broadcast from this ship until the day I die. And for a couple days after that.
Academy Award winner Philip Seymour Hoffman, Bill Nighy, Risa Vaughn, Nick Frost, and Kenneth Branagh.
Young men and young women will always dream dreams and put those dreams into song.
Pirate Radio.
Let's rock!
Us!
Don't know what that means. I didn't understand any of that.
Topic national news. Criminal investigators consider Nidal Malik Hassan to be an only suspect and are trying to establish motive in Thursday's shooting at Fort Hood, which left 13 people dead and 29 others wounded. Hassan allegedly fired over 100 rounds in a soldier processing facility, which has been called the worst mass shooting on a military facility in the U.S.
Reuters is reporting that the U.S. jobless rate is the highest since 1983, now sitting at 10.2%. The Labor Department said on Friday that employers cut 190,000 jobs in October. That's more than expected, though it is less than the 219,000 lost in September. Additionally, unemployed Americans that have given up on looking for work has hit a record 17.5%.
The United States House of Representatives passed a health care reform bill on a largely party lines last night in Washington, D.C. on a 220 to 215 vote. The Senate is next set to tackle the bill, which Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina calling the bill dead on arrival. The Senate is considering its own version of the bill, which includes different versions of the government-backed insurance plan.
In international news, Iraq's parliament has passed new election laws, making way for the national elections in January. The dispute was over the city of Kirkuk, which is claimed by both Arabs and Turks. It's a very oil-rich city in the northern region of Iraq. If the election law had not passed, it would have delayed the January 16th elections. It also would have delayed the plans to withdraw U.S. troops.
Pope Benedict made a one-day pilgrimage on Sunday to northern Italy to pay tribute to Paul IV, his predecessor that made him a cardinal. In 1977, a year before Pope Paul IV died, he elevated Joseph Ratzinger to the rank of cardinal. Later Sunday, Benedict planned to visit the village of Concessio, Paul's birthplace. In his homily, Benedict quoted extensively from Paul IV's 1968 speech, in which he noted the Catholic faithful's expectations that the Pope should lead with impressive, energetic, and decisive interventions. Even the Pope needs to be helped with prayer, Benedict quoted Paul as saying.
Hurricane Ida strengthened off the Mexican resort city of Cancun in the Yucatan Peninsula on Sunday as heavy rains caused by the storm killed at least 42 people in El Salvador. The center of Hurricane Ida is a Category 2 storm. It's moving into the southern Gulf of Mexico. The National Hurricane Center said on Sunday that hurricane watches have been posted from Grand Isle, Louisiana, which is just southwest of New Orleans, all the way to Mexico Beach, Florida. The storm currently has winds of over 100 miles per hour. It's expected to continue to move north into the Gulf of Mexico, heading for possible landfall in Alabama or Florida on Tuesday. The storm is expected to be weakening as it approaches the coast, but Governor Bobby Jindal has gone ahead and declared a state of emergency for Louisiana ahead of the storm.
We had some great weather over the weekend, but how long is the warm weather going to last, and is there more rain in our future? And what happened to all that cold air? Plus, where is the hurricane going to go, and are we going to be affected? Right after the break.
Christmas comes but once a year. But for one man...
Ah! Humbug.
That's once too often. But this holiday season...
Is someone there?
He'll be given a second chance to get his life right.
You will be halted by 3 spins.
Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1.
Couldn't I take them all at once and have it over with?
Walt Disney Pictures and Image Movers Digital present Jim Carrey in a new vision of the classic tale, like you've never seen it before.
What's happening?
In Disney Digital 3D and IMAX 3D. Disney's A Christmas Carol.
Welcome back to SLU News 22. David is here to take a look at the upcoming weather week. With the hurricane expected to make landfall earlier in the week, is it going to ride up the Mississippi and affect us?
I do not believe the hurricane will be directly affecting our weather, but it is going to make quite an impact on the Gulf Coast. But back to our weather, we had very warm temperatures here at SLU on Sunday. We saw a high temperature of 76 degrees. That is well above the normal high of 57. In fact, our low here was only 58 degrees. That is above the normal high, so very mild temperatures, well above normal for the month of November. We were getting close to that record of 82 set back in 2005, but we are nowhere near that frigid record low of 8 degrees set back in 1991. Now, we saw very sunny skies across the region Sunday afternoon thanks to an area of high pressure that kept the skies nice and clear, but you can see the next change in the weather across the northern plains as a cold front is advancing. You can see this band of clouds here right along that cold front and a little bit of rain. That'll be working into the area later this week. Temperatures across the area in the afternoon were in the middle to upper 70s from Minnesota all the way down to the Gulf Coast, so a very warm day across the country. But once again, here is that change in the weather with those 50-degree temperatures beginning to push across the northern plains. Now, we talked about Hurricane Ida earlier. It is sitting in the Gulf of Mexico now. It has a Category 2 storm at the moment with winds of 100 miles per hour. Now, it is moving to the north, so the National Hurricane Center has posted a hurricane watch from eastern Louisiana to western Florida, and that is in effect for Tuesday morning. The storm is moving to the north and will be a hurricane as it moves through the Gulf of Mexico, approaching the Gulf Coast early Tuesday morning as a possible hurricane, but it will weaken quickly as it moves ashore to a tropical storm as it curves around back into the Atlantic. Now back to our weather here in the Midwest. We are expecting more warm conditions and sunny skies on Monday as high pressure remains in control. However, Monday evening, the storm system and associated cold front will begin to push through the area, which means an increase in the cloud cover and a slight chance for light showers or sprinkles as we head through Monday night into Tuesday. However, once that system moves out of the area, more high pressure builds in, and that means more sunny skies. It is going to be slightly cooler, but still temperatures are going to be well above normal. So here is your Monday forecast. When you wake up, 60 degrees, a very mild start to your day. By noon, temperatures warm up to 67, and by the afternoon, we should see a high around 72 degrees, once again well above normal. And by 8 p.m., temperatures only fall back to around 65 degrees, with those clouds increasing with the advance of that cold front. So here is the rest of your 7-day forecast. Once again on Monday, mild high of 72 degrees. On Tuesday, slight chance for isolated showers or sprinkles in the morning. A high temperature of 62 degrees with that cooler air coming in behind the cold front. On Wednesday, high of 60 degrees, Veterans Day, very nice day. Still comfortable, well above normal. Temperatures later in the week will be in the middle 60s, so still above normal, but slightly cooler than we've seen this past weekend. But still, it looks like a very enjoyable week coming up this week.
Okay, I like seeing all those suns. Thanks, David. In Motorola's new touchscreen smartphone launched on Friday, Verizon customers lined up hours before the release to get their hands on the new Android 2.0 device, and stores have been quickly burning through their inventory of the new phone. Of course, with any new touchscreen phone, it will be compared to the iconic iPhone. The one comparison that seems to have some sticking power is battery life. The new Droid lasted for only 12 hours in a test done by a review site, even when in standby mode. However, in constant use, the Droid only lasted 7 hours. Battery life may be set back for users that cannot be recharging their phones all day, but it didn't seem to bother crowds that lined up early Friday, proving that the fierce advertising has been a success.
The official launch of Apple's iPhone in China has been disappointing at best for mobile operator China Unicom. Unicom unveiled Apple's iconic handset in Beijing on October 30th, but the few hundred people who braved the cold wind and rain to snap up the iPhone paled in comparison to the horde seen in New York in 2007 or Tokyo and Hong Kong in 2008. Vendors say the high price and disabled Wi-Fi have so far dogged the sales in the world's biggest cell phone market of nearly 720 million users. Unicom said last week that it had sold over 5,000 units in the first weekend, but has released no figures since then.
Walmart, Amazon, and Target are at it again. First with books, now on DVDs. On Thursday, Walmart instigated another price war by trimming the online pre-order prices of some upcoming DVDs following its price cut on books last month. And once again, competitors Amazon.com and Target scrambled to match the prices. It's the latest move in an ongoing push by Walmart designed to make sure everyone knows it intends to be the low-price leader on the web as well as in stores. The retailer reduced some of its DVDs to an online price of $10 on Thursday, but Amazon competed by cutting its price back to $9.99 and Walmart shot back by cutting its price by another 2 cents to $9.98. But not all retailers appear to be engaging in the tug-of-war, as Best Buy, Barnes & Noble, and Borders have had higher prices for most of the DVDs on Friday.
In entertainment news, at the box office this weekend, Walt Disney's A Christmas Carol was off to a slower start than expected, bringing in only $31 million, but still coming out on top for the weekend. Industry pundits and forecast the movie to bring in between $35 million and $45 million, but Disney said the film hits its own target and is expected that the movie will enjoy some longevity once the Christmas spirit kicks in. This was the case with the 2004 holiday movie The Polar Express, which totaled $180 million after a slow start. Disney said 3D theaters, which charge a premium for tickets, accounted for nearly 3/4 of Christmas Carol sales. Last weekend's champion, Michael Jackson's concert documentary, This Is It, slipped to number 2 with $14 million, taking its 12-day total to $57.9 million. The Men Who Stare at Goats and The Box also met modest expectations.
Sesame Street is celebrating its 40th birthday on Tuesday this week. Sesame Street first aired on November 10, 1969. Since then, the cartoon has grown by leaps and bounds to probably the most popular children's cartoon in television. The show has received a bounty of awards, including as many as 100 Emmys. The program has been shown in more than 120 countries, and you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody who has not heard of Big Bird. To celebrate the 40th anniversary show, First Lady Michelle Obama will be featured working with kids to plant a garden and to talk about eating healthy food.
Soccer season is winding down and basketball season is just getting started. We'll take a look at sports when we come back on SLU News 22.
Suicide adhered to the Mayan calendar, which predicts the end of time to occur on the 21st of December of this year.
What are the odds? He said that the government is building these ships.
So when do we let the people know?
Our mission is to assure the continuity of our species.
Wasn't it also decided that people have the right to fight for their lives?
No matter what happens, we'll all stay together.
Thanks for staying with us on SLU News 22. Here's Chris with sports.
The Billikens men's basketball team begins their season this Saturday in a game at 7 o'clock at Shea Fitz Arena as the Billikens take on Southeast Missouri State. SLU played 2 exhibition games at Shea Fitz to prepare for the season, including a 61-47 victory over St. Ambrose last weekend. Head coach Rick Majerus visited in the Grease lobby on Wednesday for Q&A with students. He addressed the excitement of the young team and the importance of a strong non-conference schedule. It'll be a fun few weeks for Billiken fans with 4 home games between now and Thanksgiving break. On Thursday this week, be sure to pick up the 2009-2010 men's basketball preview in the U-News. The women's basketball team played their first exhibition game last Thursday night with a 69-37 shellacking of Southwest Baptist. The ladies begin their regular season schedule on Friday as they host the Salukis of Southern Illinois. Game time is 8 o'clock at Shea Fitz Arena. While basketball season is just beginning, the soccer season is coming to a close. Now, the Billikens women's soccer team wasn't entirely sure if they were going to even make the Atlantic 10 tournament, but thanks to a 0-0 tie on senior night at the end of the regular season, the Lady Bills found their way in as the number 5 seed. The first game of the tournament was a matchup with St. Bonaventure on Thursday night. Though the Bonnies had beaten the Bills once already this year, St. Louis knew this was a winnable ball game. Senior Andrea Bartledge scored just 2 minutes into the game, and it was all St. Louis from there. The Billikens ended up outshooting the Bonnies 26-8 en route to a 3-0 victory and a chance to advance to the next round. In the second round, though, the top-seeded Dayton Flyers pulled away from the Billikens. Dayton beat St. Louis 5-1 in the A-10 semifinals and went on to win the conference championship on Sunday with a 2-1 victory over the Charlotte 49ers. This coming weekend is tournament time for men's soccer in the Atlantic 10. The Bills had quite the weekend in their road trip to Philadelphia last Friday and Saturday. It all started with a Friday afternoon victory over Temple. Freshman Jacob Brown scored the game's only goal in the first half, and the Bills beat the Owls 1-0. Then on Sunday afternoon, sophomores Mike Roach and Bo Bellamy each scored for the Bills as they walked away with a 3-0 victory. Thanks to that successful weekend, the Billikens have earned the number 2 seed in this weekend's Atlantic 10 tournament. That tournament will be held in Kingston, Rhode Island, and it begins on Thursday. Finally, the women's volleyball team extended their winning streak to 5 games this weekend with a sweeping victory over one of their toughest conference opponents, the Charlotte 49ers. The ladies haven't lost a set since October 25th, and they sit tied for first place in the conference with their rivals, the Dayton Flyers. Xavier visits Shea Fitz Arena on Sunday night as the Billikens inch closer to the conference tournament. That'll be held just before Thanksgiving break.
And I'm really proud of the volleyball team. And we'll take a final look at weather right after the break, so stay with us.
David is back with a final look at weather. It was warm this weekend, but it's going to start feeling like winter pretty soon, isn't it?
It's going to feel a little bit more like November, but temperatures are still going to be well above normal for the majority of the week, with high temperatures in the 60s for the entire week, all the way through the weekend, with mostly sunny skies and just a very slight chance for scattered showers or sprinkles Monday night into Tuesday. By the time we get to the weekend, temperatures are still going to be in the middle 60s, so it's just going to be a great week overall to get out and enjoy the weather.
All right. Thank you, David. And thank you for joining us. Follow us online at SLU-TV.slu.edu and on Twitter. Also keep up with news from our content partner, University News, at newsonline.com. This is SLU News 22, and have a great week.